Hello everyone, it is Leon here and I am with Dave.
Hello.
Has just come back from Paris. Was it seeing Watch Dogs?
I was seeing Watch Dogs.
Okay, so tell us, we've seen something before, tell us what we're seeing here, what is happening?
Right, so this bit is essentially, these are bases which are called CTOS systems, which is essentially Central City Operating System.
Right.
In practicality, they work quite like the antennas and encampments you get in Far Cry 3. So you have several of the, many of these bases spread throughout Watch Dogs taking Chicago, and in each district you essentially have to hack one of these bases, and specifically the mainframe room found in these bases, to actually fully get all the benefits of that area of the map. It's like, so think in Far Cry 3 you have to scale that antenna to reveal what's in the map.
So is the map closed off until you clearly... is this the red section we can see on the map?
Yeah, the benefits of it are closed off, so you won't be able to hack anything in that district until you hack the mainframe. So
and this is using, what's that device called that you've got, the handset thing?
I don't think they gave a name, but essentially it's a smartphone that has many different...
And you use that, so until you take these bases out you can't hack phones.
Yeah, so you can't hack security cameras, or you can't read people's profiles in this district, so it's very much like exploring the city, coming across these bases, and these bases then work like the encampments in Far Cry, where you don't necessarily have to adapt.
How does this bullet time thing happen here? Is that
this is called focus mode, or the focus, and it's essentially a slow motion mode where they want, Ubisoft Montreal want it to act as a kind of a system that lets you multitask quite easily on the fly. So whether you're doing a hairpin in a corner while hacking a security camera, so it's designed to allow you to shoot and hack at the same time. So it just lets you process things.
What sort of things can we interact with then? Because we saw then he made some cover pop up. He made something explode. I think he might have shot that.
So essentially, you can almost interact with any electronic device in the city, be that Wi-Fi hotspots or security cameras or people's smartphones.
Can you leap then? He seemed to be like he leapt to a camera he could see. So if you can see it, you can hack it. Yeah,
essentially, as soon as you've hacked into the mainframe of a CTOS base, you essentially can have access to any electronic device in that district when you come across it. Now, we also got shown these Wi-Fi hotspots, which they almost work like platforming challenges, where you'll see essentially a line which leads up to somewhere, and you have to follow that point of sight to the kind of the mainframe box, and then when you hack into that, you can actually get access to, say if you're hacking into an apartment building, you can actually gain access to, say, people's laptops that we're seeing here. So that's essentially like the webcam in his laptop, so you can see into people's lives, and there's a certain degree of voyeurism and Big Brother going on.
Do you get anything out of that, or is it just, do you just discover things?
It's it's all like little personal stories, so you can read through their emails, and it's kind of like showing you the real personality and the kind of darker side of the site. They described it as like seeing its darker underbelly, but also seeing lots of mundane kind of stupid little scenarios, just to give the game some personality.
And how is it structured? Because we've seen a lot of what we're seeing here is that he just sort of browses through files, hacks into people's phones, discovers crimes in progress and things that are happening, and then pursues them. There doesn't seem to be any core mission at the moment.
There is certainly a very pronounced narrative thoroughfare where, there are 100+ story missions which are promised, but the key thing that Jonathan Marin, who's the creative director in the game, is emphasising is a word he kept coming back to: systemic. Which essentially, and I hate this word, it's all about emergent gameplay.
But this is a lot of what they're showing off, isn't it? You see, the previous demo, you saw the woman being attacked by the husband, and you just sort of find things as you explore.
I think this is a big part of what the Disruption engine, which is the engine they built for Watch Dogs over the last 4 years, is really being tailored to, especially in next gen. It's all about creating a world where you feel like you're constantly reacting to organic events that will never play out the same way. So, in essence, it's about going up to a guy, and in one version of it, he might have a different story. So his stats might be different than other players, and he might get involved in a crime that might be somewhat different from someone else's game. So it's all about It's all about avoiding scripting at all possible costs.
Do we know anything about the main character? We're seeing a car chase here. We'll see some of the focus time takedowns in the car in a moment, but he seems to be kind of quite murky. We see him saving people 1 minute and then robbing a gun store the next. What is his kind of...
So yeah, it's Aiden Pearce. Ubisoft described him as like a vigilante who's a bit of a paranoid obsessive. He starts with starts off surveilling his family because he wants to protect them from an event that's happened in his past, and then that kind of paranoia stretches out from watching his family to watching his block to watching his district to watching his neighbourhood to watching the whole city. So it's all kind of, it's a level of like paranoia which is all based on like hacking and the surveillance system that's tied into his family. So.
And it's one of the PS4 games we've seen the most of so far. I mean, what are your thoughts on it as a kind of indication of the next generation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a very pretty game that gives us a lot of kind of small detail and divergent possibilities that weren't possible in PS3.
Brilliant, thank you very much.